So really quick, Leila, thank you for sharing your rhinoplasty journey. I share it with our patients all the time. Like it's not always
Plastic surgery
real
clinic?
like that.
Oh, nice.
You got a nose job?
I got a nose job?
I said rhinoplasty, so it could be kind of code. But
Welcome back to Daily Revenue Report. In this raw, high-stakes discussion, Alex Hormozi breaks down why your margins are probably killing your growth and what to do about it right now. Watch as Alex Hormozi goes back and forth with a live guest, dismantling weak pricing, exposing hidden profit leaks, and revealing how to push toward 80 to 90% margins without losing sales. This is real, unfiltered strategy straight from Alex Hormozi himself. If you're serious about scaling, making more money, and fixing what's actually broken in your business, hit that like and subscribe button because we drop videos like this every single day.
so I looked at the margins like you had talked about because they were low, and to get to 80%, I have to almost double the cost of the kits that would be added to the surgeries. The problem I have is that the patient care coordinators who sell the surgeries, they're not gonna buy that. But they do buy that when we're talking straight to the consumer. Do I need to stepstone, whereas just pick a price that at least gets me one call with them and upgrade it myself? Or like the hospital side, they can't collect payments at all. They're just willing to send us all the patients and we can sell them.
I was going to ask what the kit is.
So the kit is a mental health, nutrition, and coordination call before and after surgery.
Isn't there semaglutide too?
And semaglutide as well. So, and bariatric surgery as well. So when
The nose job?
no.
Oh my
So-
God. Okay, I was like,
No, it's okay. So when, as you know, going through that process, there are some things that you find out in recovery. We want to make sure they find out and are educated before so that they can maximize their recovery with nutrition, with coordination, and with mental health, because it can be mentally taxing as well. So we do that for plastic surgery. We do that for bariatric surgery, people who are going through weight loss. And then we also do that for semaglutide patients who are losing weight fast, so they need that same kind of support.
I just want to know if you're thinking what I'm thinking.
Probably not.
Okay, what do you think?
Oh, so the 80% gross margins. So I'll just make this for everybody. So we talked last night. I have a rule of thumb for services, which is if I'm doing service, I want 80% or higher gross margins, because it's just very hard to make money without that. Like it's just very tough. And sometimes
The reason for that is because the cost of labor is so high. It usually ends up, you try to get it to about 30% of your gross revenue. But, I mean, unless you're at 80% gross margins, the labor is just going to kill and take all of your profit.
like I hear it all the time. They're like, I don't know what's wrong with my business. It's like, dude, your cost basis is 50 and it's service. It's like you're starting at 50 and then you got to do everything else and then you have this much left over. It's tough. And I prefer 90, 95, like much higher margins if I can do it. And so I think that one, from the sales perspective, it's probably a compensation thing, which means that like you can double the price and then you can 4x how much you're paying them. And then all of a sudden that may very much change, like move the needle for them to make it worth that uncomfortable 2 seconds. The second thing is that if the hospitals are referring you, referring directly to you, then I don't think you have to worry about those at all. Like just say the higher price. So it really just comes down to the question of how do I get the patient care providers, I think is what you said.
Is the 80% going to cover their bonus? Because right now we give a PCC bonus. For every kit they sell, they get a little kickback. We pay them.
The answer is yes. So gross margins are on delivery.
Okay.
And so the whole point of having a higher price is so that you can spend more in acquisition.
Okay.
And so commission is included in the acquisition cost.
Okay.
Makes
So
sense.
What's the background of the patient care coordinators?
The patient care coordinators work directly for the surgeon. So their job is to sell the surgeon and sell the surgery. So what we do, because we handhold the patient, they're no longer on the phone for hours with the patient that already had surgery or that's going to have surgery. They're talking to a patient who's looking to have surgery, who's going to book a surgery. So
the value that this business is providing is it's giving time back to the surgeon. So that can be a really good product, or in this case, a service, because the surgeon's time is very expensive. And when you're going through a surgery, you want to talk to the surgeon. You're like, yeah, this is all cool. You talk to the assistants, you talk to the nurses, but you're like, I want to talk to the surgeon. I want to talk to the guy who's going to be cutting my body open and dissecting me for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, right? People want to be put at ease. So if you can take even some of the burden, right? every hour is worth hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. So if you can save 5, 6, 7 hours per patient for a surgeon, that practice is going to want to pay you for that. Even if they paid you 50% of the time they would have paid the surgeon to talk to these people, that's some really good pricing right there.
Taking away that office burnout, the high anxiety patient, that is how we're creating more income producing activity for the office.
She's customer service for surgeons.
Yeah.
Outsourced.
Okay, yeah, no, I picked that up as we were talking.
Yes.
Because I was like, the patient care coordinators.
Yeah, so but the patient
Surgeon
care
salesman.
coordinators, they're the ones that have to, unless it's mandatory, which usually takes us about 90 to 180 days to get there. In the beginning, it's an opt-in, opt-out. You're having the surgery, we partnered with POP, you should add this. Then when they see like, wow, this is taking a lot off our plate, then they're like, just add it to the surgeon's fee. But typically they don't want to do that right away.
The question was around price. And so I think the answer is yes.
Okay.
Price it in, and then the extra gross margin can go to the sales rep. And that can help speed things up in the beginning, and then eventually they'll just include you in part of the package and you won't have to worry about it. But I think having even artificially high in the beginning to like get them going and kind of teach the behavior is a good idea, if that's the constraint.
And would you just have one price for everything? Because right now it's rhinoplasty is this, major weight loss surgery, combo surgery is this. Because some rhinoplasty...
Is the delivery the same?
It can be.
Well, if
It
you make the
can be.
delivery the same, then you can make the price the same.
It should be.
Well, then why don't you do that?
Okay.
Remember,
You know, it's very tough to get people to change, even if it's going to benefit them. So the struggle that she's having is when she gets into these offices, these are not business people. These are doctors. These are administrators. There's not really a sales process here. You want surgery, you come, you talk to us about the surgery, we give you a free consultation. If you can afford the surgery and the surgery is something you want, then you buy it. They're not really hardcore salesmen, right? So when you go in here, they don't understand sales, they don't understand marketing, they don't understand business. So when you put a high price on the table, they're like, oh my goodness, I could never charge my clients that. That would be ridiculous. We're here to help people. This is healthcare, right? And so they don't quite understand that you need a high price in order to deliver an exceptional product or service. Because if you have low price, what does that mean? You got to hire people who work for peanuts. And if they work for peanuts, how passionate can they be about helping the people they serve when they can barely afford to pay their bills? It's an ongoing cycle. But anyway, if you made it this far, you just saw Alex Hormozi lay out the real game. Pricing power, margin control, and how small shifts can completely change your business trajectory. This wasn't theory. This was a live, unfiltered discussion with Alex Hormozi breaking down what actually drives profit and scale. If you're not thinking differently after this, you're leaving money on the table. So make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit that subscribe button because we drop videos like this every single day.